Hey, peace, family. This is Kyle Dixon here for another post. I know you haven't heard from me in a while. I've been working on some things. Also been doing some things as far as the podcast I've been working on, the Grand Rising Collective podcast. If you haven't peeped it out, definitely check it. Definitely do your due diligence and make sure that you check out all the episodes we have. We have a latest episode with Dr. Lorena Poe in reference of the COVID-19. Of the coronavirus, some people call it. And this post family is really about the children. You know, I'm an educator. I work in the public schools and I work in charter schools here in New York City. And I've also worked in other cities, Chicago, Nashville. I've done public and private. I started with the young children, the primary grades, and I worked my way all over to high school and also into college classes as well, college level classes. But what I really want to talk about is the children. I really want to talk about the children. A lot of times during these times of difficulty, challenges, you know, people forget about the children. And me being an educator, you know, my mind is always about, you know, how do we make sure that our children are safe? How do we make sure that they're educated properly? How do we make sure that we give them enough tools to be able to function on their own, think for themselves, and have good judgment, good character as far as their ability to make a living, their ability to live in society, their ability to have families, their ability to just be able to socialize with other people. So I want to just kind of give you some data, just kind of give you a scope of what's going on. So due to the COVID virus, the coronavirus, globally now, we're not just talking about America, but globally, 1.5 million children are at home due to the coronavirus. That's 1.5 billion children are at home due to the coronavirus, right? Globally, worldwide, right? So let me give you another piece of data. In America, 300 million children at home. So out of that 1.5 billion with a B, 300 million children in the US are at home due to coronavirus. Now, even with some of my students, they've expressed some difficulty. I teach high school and I teach adults as well. And both of them are having some issues with adjusting to the online classes and whatnot. And I want to focus more on the children, as I said before, because a lot of times we feel like, you know, children, you know, just do what I say, do what I tell you, and just get it done. And children don't work like that, right? We oftentimes we harp on them about them not being what we want them to be, or the standards we set for them, they're not able to meet them. And then we wonder like, oh, you know, these children out here, they're crazy. They don't know what's going on. You know, we're going to be lost when they become adults because they don't know what they're doing and they're just so uncultured, unmannered, and just no direction. Well, you got to think that children are raised themselves. Children are raised by adults, parents, guardians. And when we say that children have failed, that means we have failed as their guardians and their parental figures to guide them along in life. We have to remember that children need to be guided in the right directions. And if you don't do it, somebody else would do it. And again, it might be something that would become a detriment to themselves, their families, and society as a whole. So there are other countries that are taking the initiative to help make sure that this transition from being in a physical school, where they're with their friends and everything like that, I'm going to get into that later, to now them being at home with their family, their parents, their siblings, whatever their family dynamic is, they're there. Right? They're there. And some of them are feeling a lot of anxiety and fear and depression. Other countries are starting to kind of get into the act of making the transition as easy as possible. Like for instance, Italy. Italy has about 8.5 million students that they're trying to get adjusted to this new way of learning. So they've set up like internet and TV curriculum to help aid in the children being able to get their lessons to still keep up with their learning pace of what they're getting in school. Peru. Peru's dealing with the emotional side, the social emotional side of the students. So they're providing like services to as many students as they can to help to kind of deal with the adjustment, because it is mainly a very big shift for a lot of them, because you gotta think you're dealing with K through 8 in some places, and then 9 through 12. So you're dealing with different dynamics. Turkey's dealing with certain things as well, dealing with, like, again, television, internet. They're trying to provide internet services to those who don't have it, like those maybe in far off towns or smaller cities. They're trying to provide these things. So other countries are doing things and getting in the groove of doing these things to help people to adjust. Unfortunately, America is not doing as much as it probably could be, but these are strategies, these are ideas that we could possibly use, and maybe even you can use in your own home if you have the ability to help to make the adjustment for your children and for yourself. So I want us to remember, family, that when we're dealing with our children, no matter what the situation, it is about empathy and like solidarity. Empathy, love, solidarity. Your children have to feel like you understand them to some extent, right? And they have to feel like you're in this with them, not like just do as I tell you. No, they have to feel like we're in it together. You have to reassure them that you're in it together with them, that we're all going through this, and it's going to be a challenging time, but as a family, as a small community in your household, we're going to get through this together. And they need to hear that from you, and they need to feel that and see that from you, right? So even if you're going through tough times, express that, right? Express that to your children. Talk to them. Talk with your child. Talk with your children. Because now, do you have to tell them everything? No, of course not. But please share with them if you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling tired. Say, hey, look, I'm feeling tired right now. I can't deal with this right now with you, but let's talk later. Let's figure out a time. I need quiet time right now. I just need you to relax because mommy or daddy has to do this right now, right? And then if you want to do this, give me time and we can come back to it, right? And if they still want to have a temper tantrum or not, then that's something you might have to deal with. That's something that has been building up into that time. So a lot of times when children throw temper tantrums, especially when I'm having in my classroom, it's something that has been building up over time that wasn't addressed. And that doesn't happen as much as it used to when I first started teaching with the younger, the primary grades. But it's something typically dealing from home or from their environment, their neighborhood that has bored over in the classroom setting. So just be mindful. Ask them certain questions. How is even though you're still in the same house, how was your day? Are you having a difficulty with your teacher? What's going on? Like, you have to be involved. And again, I've had your children for up to 8 hours. Most teachers have your child for 8 to 9 hours a day. You may see them in the morning, which is maybe an hour and a half. And then once they get home, say they get home at 5 o'clock, that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, 6 hours right there. And then they're supposed to be going to bed. So you don't really have we have more interaction with your children than you do. Hence why a lot of people regard teachers as one of the undervalued professions, because a lot of times people don't realize how much time we spend with your children, how much effect we have on them. But I want to reemphasize, the mother is the first teacher of the child, right? Let me say it again. The mother is the first official teacher of the child. There used to be a term that I got from Malcolm X. He mentioned his book called motherwit. Right? They used to say that whatever the child was born, whatever like intelligence or awareness or consciousness, they called it motherwit. Why? Because when we come out of women, our mothers, and that's the innate wisdom and innate intelligence, connections to their consciousness that a child has. So that first teacher is the mother. They're looking at you. You're looking at their father. They're looking at those parental figures in the household and saying, well, I wonder how they handle stuff. And they're getting their template from you. They're getting their template, how to act, how to behave, how to correspond with other people from you. So keep that in mind as well, that they're watching always. They're always soaking up. They're always a sponge. And again, a lot of times it's not what you say, is what you do. Sometimes it's both, but more times it's what they see. They see you first, and they see what you do. All right. So 2 sayings. repetition. They say repetition is the father of learning, right? So, you know, the duality. Repetition is the father of learning. Consistency is the mother of mastery. Consistency is the mother of mastery. So these are ideas, right? When we're talking about keeping your child productive. As I stated, first one, talk to your child. Make sure you talk to them, please. Like I said earlier, please talk to them. Find out what they like, what they don't like. Express to them if you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling proud, if they're not feeling proud, if they're feeling stressed. I mean, you got to think that they're used to having and being in school. School is a social environment. People tend to forget that. It's not just about going in there and learn what you have to do and sit in your seat and listen to what the teacher says and don't be disruptive. School is a social environment. I tell my students this all the time. You come to school not just to learn, but to be social with your peers. You learn from me, you learn from your peers, I learn from you, we learn from each other. It is a social learning environment. If learning is not coming from you to me and from me to you, meaning reciprocal, that means something is wrong. That means that learning environment is not at its best. If I'm not learning from you and you're learning from me, okay? School is a social environment, so keep that in mind. So please talk to your children. Also, read to them. Second one, read to them. Please read to them. Read to them and let them know, like, reading is important. Literacy is important. Like seriously, literacy is connected to the prison rates. They say that if a child does not read well, by the time third or fourth grade, they're already predicting that child will be in prison or incarcerated by the time they finish high school, or either right after high school, if they even graduate. So these are stats that you may not know of. You can look these up. And some of the stats I mentioned earlier, you can look these up. Coming from the Washington Post, coming from NPR.com, coming from the New York Times. Like, these are stats. Please look these up. All right. So please read to your children. Read to them at bedtime. Read to them during the day if you have time. Set up a reading time. Okay. Set up a reading time. If it's not reading, then, you know, set something up where it's an audiobook. Maybe y'all listen to it. There are audiobooks on YouTube. So go check those out. Audiobooks on YouTube are key. Also, remember to praise them. Number 3, praise them for their good efforts. If they do something positive, praise them for that, right? Just as much as you get excited for that show to come on, or that sports game, which we're not watching sports right now, but for that sports games, or for that TV show, or for those new sneakers, or that new outfit, or going on a trip, praise your children. They want that. They need that. They may not tell you, but I'm telling you, they want that. They want that good praise. You don't have to be like, oh, good job. Hey, you can if you want to, but they just want to say, hey, you did a good job today. I appreciate you. You know, you really came through, and mommy or daddy, or we appreciate you for behaving today. Good job. You know, give them a fist pound. However you all communicate, hug, kiss, whatever that is, do that for them, please. They really want your affection and adornment from you. They need that. All right. Something they could also pick up, number 4, something they can pick up, learn a language, right? You have these free services online, Babbel, you have Duolingo, which I use, right? They can learn a language, get them to learn a skill while they're away from school, something they can go back and add to their repertoire of skills. Learning another language is great for them to learn how to see the world in a different way. It's a great opportunity for you all to maybe do something together. Maybe you want to learn a language too. You all can learn it together and practice with each other. Y'all can practice the language, right? Children have, you know, their brains are sponges. So maybe them learning a language, going on Duolingo, it is free. They can learn a language in that way that can enhance their experience while they're home. All right. Also, number 5. Board games, playing cards, Uno. Like I'm Uno. No one, look, you don't want to mess with me with Uno, right? Spades, I know some people spades. Bidwist, what's the other one? Pinochle. I don't know, that's an old school joint. I Declare War, you know, do simple card games. I played those as a kid. You know, those teach you card games. That teaches math, that teaches strategy, that teaches analytical thinking. So these are all skills that, even though it's a game, you're still picking up skills and learning, because you want to be able to use this downtime for your child to be able to pick up skills and learn more, to assess more, right? It's not just about them going online and getting the assignment from the teacher. It's about also them learning stuff from you too. It could be through games. It doesn't have to be, a book all the time, right? So games are important. If they don't want to do that, there's apps, there's game apps on the computer, on their iPads, on their phones that they can do, and you can check their scores and things like that. So just be mindful of that. Number 6, do a project with them. It could be a cooking project. It could be a painting project. It could be a clean the house project, clean your room project. Those things that, get them involved, get their body moving, because you gotta think they're sitting down in one place for the whole day. Typically they would get up and move around, and allow them to do that too. These projects allow them to move around and be active, but also be productive. So please, have them move around. Children like to move around, especially boys. Boys love to move around. Girls too, but more boys because we just have a lot of energy. So they don't have to run around the house, but they can walk around the house, get up, maybe get some water, but allow them to kind of move and be active. Again, with boys and girls, they don't associate with learning the same way. Girls typically can sit down and do a lesson and stay there. Typically young boys have to move around. And again, I'm not generalizing anything, but that's typically from my experience as a teacher, that's what I've seen. So that's something you can think about and incorporate, but have them do a project. That'd be great. It could be cooking, it could be cleaning the kitchen, cleaning their room, painting, doing puzzles. You can decide for your child what's best, but yes, have them do a project. Number 7, ask questions, right? Ask them questions. Just be inquisitive of your own children. Ask them questions. Ask them about how they went. Ask them about what their interests are. Watch a film with them. That's another thing. 7 is also included. Watch a film with them. Watch a TV show. Find out about what TV shows they like to watch. Ask them questions about it. My parents used to do that with me. I'll be watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or something like that, Sesame Street, or just some show, some cartoon, Tom and Jerry or something. I don't know, Scooby-Doo. And they would ask me questions. They wouldn't drill me, but they would ask me questions oh, what's that? What you watching? What's the episode about? Just to kind of get an idea of what I was taking in. And they didn't always do that, but they would walk in and, they kept tabs on me, what I was watching, because they wouldn't know what's going in my brain, was feeding me. So don't forget to ask questions and watch shows with your children. Sit down and watch a show with them. Say, okay, I'm gonna watch a show with you. What do you want to watch? What are we gonna watch today? And sit down with them and set that time. It could be during the day, it could be on the weekend. Hey, we have our day, we watch our show together, right? Just like how you watch a show with your significant other, sit down as a family and watch a show, right? That says a lot, right? And you all discuss the show. What was the theme? What did you like about it? Did you understand this part? Did you not understand this? When they said this, not everything needs to be explained, but just having that dialogue with them will create them to be inquisitive and to them to pick up or learn certain things, right? So in reference to that, right? Those are 7 things, right? And I'll give you one more. I'll give you 8. Also, just make sure that in a counter argument, 7, I say, watch TV, turn the TV off. Turn the TV off. They got the screens with them all the time. They're on their phones all the time. Turn the TV off. Talk with your children. Like I said before, talk, ask questions, do puzzles, turn the TV off, just turn it off, right? There's a lot of news going on with the deaths and things like that, and these things are real, and they can really cause a lot of stress and trauma to everybody in the household. So don't forget to turn the TV off, okay? It doesn't have to be on all the time. Turn it off, right? You don't have to, you can watch in the morning, get the gist of what's going on, but turn it off, turn the TV off, right? And talk with each other. Build as a family, bond together. Do meditation, do prayer, do yoga. That helps a lot too, right? But turn the TV off, do something else, right? Do something else that's productive, something that builds you all together and not brings more anxiety and fear into the household, right? You want to be filled with positivity, you want to be filled with hope, and not with fear, okay? So thank you, family, for listening. Definitely subscribe, put some comments down below. I appreciate your time. Definitely like and share this video with your peers. Again, I'm coming from the heart. We're all dealing with a lot during this time frame, but I hope you and yours are doing quite well. And if not, I hope that things do get better. And again, shout out to all the healthcare workers and professionals out there that are dealing with people, that are dealing with the sick, that are dealing with the people who contracted the virus. So definitely much love and appreciation to you all. And on that note, peace and blessings. I'll catch you all later. All right. Peace.